Hi, my name's Eric Callahan. I don't usually talk about this, but I figured maybe sharing it will help me sleep again. This is something that actually happened to me, and I swear I'm not making any of it up. I had just moved into my grandfather's old house after his passing. It was the kind of place that smelled like dust, no matter how many windows you opened. A classic two-story with a dark, unfinished basement I tried to avoid. The first weird thing happened on a Tuesday night. I got a voicemail from an unknown number at 2:17 a.m. There was no caller ID, just block. I played it, static. Then,
Why did you leave me down here?
a child's voice. Soft, almost a whisper, but clear. My heart froze. I replayed it over and over. The message was only 5 seconds long, and it ended with the sound of what I can only describe as metal scraping concrete. I didn't sleep that night. The next day, I checked the basement out of morbid curiosity. Nothing. Just dusty old tools, some shelves, and broken furniture. I convinced myself it was a prank, but the voicemails kept coming. One each night, always at the same time. The second one said,
So cold. Why can't I come upstairs?
again, the scraping sound. I called my provider, no record of incoming calls at that time. I changed my number. That night, I still got another voicemail. This time it was muffled sobbing. Then, I noticed something horrifying. The messages were being saved automatically in my phone's archive, even when my voicemail was off. On the fourth night, I didn't answer. I went down to the basement instead, just before 2:17 a.m. I stood there, in the dark, phone in hand, staring at the cold concrete floor. The voicemail came in. I put it on speaker.
I can see you now.
I swear to God, I heard the scraping sound in real life, echoing through the basement. I ran. I don't remember reaching the stairs. I sleep in a hotel now. Haven't been back since. But the voicemails haven't stopped. The most recent one said,
Soon you will come down here with me.
I don't listen to them anymore, but I keep them, just in case I disappear. Hey, this is Tyler Morgan. I used to work nights at a data center, and what I'm about to tell you, it still keeps me up sometimes. It all started with this weird phone call, just one ring, but it didn't stop there. I work night shifts at a data center, so I'm used to sleeping during the day. It's not ideal, but it's quiet, usually. About 3 weeks ago, I started getting phone calls every day around 2:45 p.m. Always the same number, no voicemail, just a single ring. Then it would stop. I tried answering once, nothing but silence on the other end. I blocked the number, but it kept happening. Different numbers each time, always the same time of day. Always one ring. I figured it was a robocall or a scammer. Annoying, but not terrifying. Then it got personal. One day I got a voicemail. It was just a recording of me sleeping. You know that soft, raspy breath people make when they're in deep REM sleep? That was me. I live alone. There's no way someone else could have recorded that. The next message came the following day. Another audio clip. This time the voice said,
You snore louder when you're scared.
I checked my apartment for bugs, cameras, nothing. I even hired someone to sweep the place. Clean. I stopped sleeping at home, stayed at a friend's. Calls stopped. I returned a week later. Everything seemed normal. Until I played back my voicemails. There were 6 new recordings, all of me sleeping. Different nights, different angles. The final message? It wasn't a recording. A voice, low, clear, said,
You can't run from something inside your phone.
I threw it out, got a new number, new device, new provider. The first night I powered it on, it rang. One ring, no voicemail.
Hello. Yeah, my name's Rachel Green. I used to work the night shift at a small hospital upstate. I haven't really told anyone this before, but I think something followed me after a call I made at work. I work the front desk at a small rural hospital. Night shifts mostly. We don't get a lot of emergencies, just the occasional accident or someone in labor. One night, a nurse handed me a form. It was for a John Doe. No ID, no known history, car crash victim. We always try to call the emergency contact listed. His was a single number with no name. So I dialed. A woman answered on the first ring.
He's not supposed to be awake yet.
Sorry, ma'am. Are you the emergency contact for?
You need to put him back to sleep. Now!
The line went dead. I thought maybe it was a mistake. I tried again. Voicemail. The greeting was just heavy deliberate. I told the nurse. We both figured it was an old number, maybe a prank. But the next day, the man was awake. And
She found me. She's not real. Don't answer when she calls.
security had to restrain him. That night, I got a call on my personal cell. I never give that number out at work.
You shouldn't have called me.
The same woman's voice said, gravely.
I only answer for the dead.
I hung up and turned off my phone. But she called the hospital line. She knew my name.
He's yours now. I gave him to you.
I quit a week later. Transferred to a clinic in the city. The man died 2 days after I left. Cardiac arrest. But here's the thing. The hospital still lists me as his emergency contact. And sometimes, at exactly 3:03 a.m., my new work phone rings once. No one's ever there. But I can hear.
Hey, I'm Matthew Lane. I work in IT security. Never thought I'd be the type to call into a show like this, but I've been carrying this story for 2 years now, and I think I just need someone to hear it. Maybe then it'll stop. I moved into a small apartment in New Jersey after my divorce. There wasn't anything fancy, just enough space for me and my dog Cooper. The place had a weird energy. The walls were too thin, the mirrors were old and slightly warped. But rent was cheap, and I was just glad to be alone again. A week after moving in, I noticed something odd. Whenever I stood in front of the bathroom mirror at night, only at night, I could see the reflection of my phone screen lighting up on the counter behind me, even though it was off. Completely black. No notifications, no incoming calls. But in the reflection, the screen glowed faintly blue. I thought maybe it was a glitch. I did tech support after all. I reset the phone, updated the OS, nothing changed. It only ever lit up in the mirror, never in real life. Then one night, I stayed in the mirror longer than usual, watching. The screen lit up again, and this time, There was a number on it. No name, just a number. 908-521-0000. I turned around immediately. The screen was black. I picked it up. No call log, no missed call, nothing. But when I looked back in the mirror, my reflection was still holding the phone to its ear. I dropped the damn thing and stepped back. The reflection just stayed there, holding the pose like a frozen frame. Then it moved, deliberately, lowered the phone, and stared at me. I couldn't breathe. I turned and ran into the bedroom, slammed the door, and stayed up all night with the lights on. The mirror was still like that the next morning, like a normal mirror again. The next few days were quiet. I kept the bathroom light off. I covered the mirror with a towel. I tried to forget about it. Then, on a Friday night, I was lying on the couch, Cooper at my feet, and my phone lit up. Real life this time. Incoming call, 908-521-0000. I stared at it for a full minute before I declined the call. 10 seconds later, it rang again. Same number. I turned it off. That night, the bathroom mirror was uncovered. I don't remember uncovering it. In the reflection, my phone was on. A voicemail was playing. I couldn't hear it in the room, but I could see the waveform moving in the reflection. My reflection was listening to it. And then, smiling. I turned and smashed the mirror with a wrench from the kitchen drawer. Glass everywhere. But the reflection didn't break right. It didn't just crack. The cracks bled. I swear to God, thin, red lines formed along the fractures, like veins. The next morning, I found a voicemail on my real phone. No transcription, just audio. It was my own voice. You can't ignore yourself forever, Matt. I moved out a week later, broke the lease, didn't care. But that number, 908-521-0000, still calls sometimes. And I've seen the reflection again. Not in mirrors now, but in dark windows, in water. Even in the gloss of my TV when it's off. Always holding the phone. Always smiling. Hi, my name's Thomas Keller, and I've never told anyone this, not even my ex-wife. It sounds crazy when I say it out loud, but I swear, something spoke to me through my phone. Something that shouldn't exist. It started last summer, right after I closed on this old Victorian house in Vermont. I flip properties, buy low, renovate, resell. This one was dirt cheap. Beautiful structure, but abandoned for over a decade. Local rumors said it was haunted, of course, but that's just small-town drama, right? I didn't believe in any of that. The first week of work was uneventful. I stayed overnight a couple of times, cheaper than hotels. On the third night, I was eating a sandwich in the living room when my phone buzzed. Voicemail. No missed call, just a voicemail. I hit play. Static. Then a voice. A man's voice. Whispering. Don't change the stairs. She doesn't like change. It didn't sound like a prank. It was low, trembling, almost desperate. I replayed it 5 times, trying to make out more, but that was it. I checked the number. It was just zeros. Like, all zeros. I thought it was a glitch. The next day I ripped out the stair carpeting. New wood, new railings. I didn't even think about the voicemail again until that night. Another voicemail. This time the voice was louder, angrier. You're not listening. You need to leave. Then what sounded like a woman, deep, guttural sobs, and a loud bang, like something falling. I didn't sleep. I sat up with the lights on, phone in my hand, waiting. At 3:12 a.m., the phone rang. Caller ID, private number. I answered. Static. Then, a voice that sounded exactly like mine. She's under the stairs. The line went dead. I don't remember getting up, but next thing I know, I'm holding a flashlight, standing by the staircase. There was a loose panel I hadn't noticed before. I pried it open. Behind it, I found a small space, maybe 3 feet wide. Inside was a wedding dress. Old, yellowed, stained. And beneath it, bones. Human bones. I backed away, dropped the light, and ran outside. I called the police. They confirmed it. The remains of a woman, missing since 1978. The case was reopened. The house became a crime scene. I didn't go back. But the voicemails didn't stop. Every month on the 12th at 3:12 a.m. I get one. No caller ID. Always static. Sometimes a scream. Last month said, "She's awake now. She knows your name." I changed my number. Got a new phone. This morning I woke up to a new voicemail.